As a developer, you are tasked to design a website for the Little Lemon restaurant. One of the main requirements is that the website easily adapts to different devices, platforms, and screen sizes. Does this mean that you'll have to redesign the website for each device? No, relax. You do not have to redesign your website for each device. In this video, I'll introduce you to Bootstrap CSS class infixes and modifiers, and you will learn how you can use them to save you time. Let's get started. Bootstrap has quite a large CSS library, built by Bootstrap's developers using thousands of use cases. How it achieves this is through CSS classes and their variations through infixes and modifiers. It is important that you, as a developer, understand infixes and modifiers, and you will explore each of these terms. You will use class infixes for responsive breakpoints in the Bootstrap grid system. Let's go ahead and cover how infixes are used. You already know that breakpoints are the triggers in Bootstrap for how your layout changes across device or viewpoint sizes. Here are the responsive breakpoints available in Bootstrap and how we use them. Note that each has a specific name. Extra small is for screens less than 576 pixels wide. Small is for screens greater than or equal to 576 pixels wide. In Bootstrap CSS rules, this is abbreviated as SM. Medium is for screens greater than or equal to 768 pixels wide. In Bootstrap CSS rules, this is abbreviated as MD. Large is for screens greater than or equal to 992 pixels wide. In Bootstrap CSS rules, this is abbreviated as LG. Extra large is for screens greater than or equal to 1200 pixels wide. In Bootstrap CSS rules, this is abbreviated as XL. Extra large is for screens greater than or equal to 1400 pixels wide. In Bootstrap CSS rules, this is abbreviated as XXL. Did you notice that there is no class infix or dimension for extra small on the list? This is because extra small is the default breakpoint in Bootstrap CSS rules, as Bootstrap is mobile first. We use the abbreviations for these breakpoints as infixes in the CSS rules for the grid system. This basically means you have to insert the abbreviation into the CSS class name. I will show you how to use this shortly. Bootstrap components provide a pre-built set of reusable UI styles and elements for your web applications. Let's now learn how to use modifiers through an example that uses an alert element. I can have an HTML file where I set an alert primary CSS class that is applied to the element. Alert primary displays the alert using Bootstrap's primary color, which is blue. The dash primary part of the class is the modifier. If you want to change this to red, for example, for an error message, you will use the danger modifier. Here is a list of modifiers available in Bootstrap. Primary, secondary, success, info, warning, danger, light, dark. Alerts are often used to show information that needs immediate attention from users, such as warnings, errors, or confirmation messages. Bootstrap provides an easy way to create predefined alert messages, and it also has different types of alerts. The difference between the alerts is just the color used to display the predefined alert message. For example, the primary alert displays the alert using Bootstrap's primary color, which is blue. On the other hand, the danger alert displays the alert in red. Now, let's turn our attention to how this works in code. In this HTML file, I have a 6-column CSS class applied to a div element. In this example, I want to change this rule for large screens. To do this, I infix LG into the col CSS class by adding col-LG-6. Bootstrap components provide a pre-built set of reusable UI styles and elements for your web applications. For example, I can add an alert component. I do this by adding an alert CSS class, followed by the contextual class alert-primary. Now I have to identify the function of the alert. To do this, I add a role CSS class directly after the contextual class alert-primary and type alert. On the next line, I type the name that must be displayed on the alert, a message. Alerts are useful for displaying information, warnings, or error messages to users. The contextual class alert-primary will display the alert using Bootstrap's primary color, which is blue. The primary part of the class is the modifier. If I want to change the color to red, for example, for an error message, I will use the danger modifier. To change the color to red, I simply replace the modifier primary with danger. Now you have learned about CSS class infixes and modifiers and how you can use them to save you time.